Good morning, everybody. Orin J here with another War of the Visions video, and today we're going to be kicking off our Final Fantasy VIII coverage by talking about Global's newest best free unit, Rinoa. It's a lot of words in a row, and I'm going to take a breath. Now, previously, I would have said that Bartz was the king of free units that we've ever gotten in this game, and he can still be the king, but now we've got a queen to sit next to him on the throne. This is a unit that I think everybody who plays the Global game should build. I just think she's that good. We get her for free. I think she's worth the Visior investment in terms of like buying shards for her. Whatever you got to do to max this girl out, I would do it. So let's look at her kit. Let's talk about what makes her so good. And I want to start by talking about her TMR. I love this TMR. It is an accessory with 6 defense, 10 spirit, 12 crit evade. But what I love about it is the skill. So it is a single target buff with a medium range on it that gives 20 defense for an ally, single target resist 25 for an ally for 3 turns, and increases magic for 40% for 3 turns for the caster. This is insane because what you're seeing in the game right now is basically everybody is stacking as much AoE resist as they can. That is just part of the current meta, but there's a lot of moves out there that are either single target or multi-target moves. And multi-target moves right now are, units like Elia the Alabaster's way of getting around a bunch of AoE resist. So single target resist is a very important stat, especially on your like tankier units. This is a great TMR for getting a little bit more single target resist onto a unit, like either a, somebody you're prioritizing in the AI's buff rate, the buff brain of the, whatever word I'm trying to say right there, you know what I mean. It's a really good TMR. Then her master ability is activation time down and lightning resistance 15%. So somebody who's meant to be a bit of an anti-lightning unit, and with how dominant lightning currently is in the game, I think that's a very good master ability for right now. It might not scale the best into the future, although skill activation time down, always nice for mages. Then her dream enhancement is 10% more magic, 15 AoE resist, and a skill upgrade. Overall, this is pretty good, but I really like her TMR. She has Grimoire Keeper and Red Mage subjobs she's running at 90 cost. Let's look at her kit. Now, her new support abilities. The power I inherited is 24 magic for herself, activation time down another 200, so that's even faster skill casting, and even more AoE resist. So just with the AoE resist from her dream ability and the AoE resist from her support ability, she's at 30. Before gear, before vision cards, before espers, 30 AoE resist is a lot. And it's like I'm saying, like every meta unit in the game right now has a way of getting a bunch of AoE resist, and it's hard to get around that unless you have single target moves or multi-target moves. So Rinoa is bringing that. Then you have a lot of options. Do you want more defense with a little bit more damage? You can get that right there. Do you just want to heal more? I'd probably stay away from this one, but it is an option. You can get initial AP and magic damage up. You can get HP and magic, spirit magic resist. Honestly, all of them are decent. Like, you definitely run the top one, and then you just pick and choose the second one based on what you feel like you need for the build you are going for. She is a unit that, yes, she is mostly a support unit, but like somebody in like a Velis, and we'll compare her to Velis a little bit here in a minute, she will do damage to the enemy. So spirit penetration, more magic, those are beneficial. For her counter move, she has a couple interesting options. Counter heal, which the Japanese translations are always good. Counter heal, as in the thing on your foot, she has a 20% chance to heal herself when she's hit. Or you have magic reflex, which I think magic reflex is always worth running as well. Okay, her new main job. Let's talk about what makes this girl so good. Her cheat move, Mad Sorcery, has a chance of inflicting confusion. That's okay. It's a cheat move, does a little bit of damage. Chance of confusing, that's fine. She has a self buff that gives 400 more activation down. Again, she's essentially almost instant casting if she's got this buff on herself. So that's really nice. It also nullifies Silence, Confusion, and Berserk. Situationally decent. However, I think her other buff and a TMR will be better than this in most cases. Now, her heal, her main heal that she has access to is Twin Recovery. It's actually recovery that gets upgraded to Twin Recovery, and Twin Recovery is really, really good. It is a single target heal, but you can select up to 2 targets. So she can be like, Squall, Irvine, heal you both. And then it's a 310% heal, which is big, and a 25% agility buff. So a really solid healing skill right there for this support unit. Then she has Twin Strike, which is another one of the things we were just talking about. This is a long range single target move that can hit 2 targets. So it's a move that has a way around AoE resist, which is awesome, and it hits for 220% modifier, which is really big, and it has a 100% hit chance on it. So a super powerful move right there, Twin Strike. Then she has Quake, which is a little bit of AoE. And if I was going to take a minute to talk about like a weakness in Rinoa's kit, I think it's that she doesn't have giant AoE moves. Like Quake right here is a small AoE with really good range on it, but nothing like diamond shaped AoEs or anything like that. Also, she can't hit Gilgamesh because he has float. 185% modifier. It is an earth resist debuff and has a chance of inflicting stun. So it's a very good move. Now, acceleration of time. This is the thing that makes her what she is. This is her bread and butter. So first of all, it grants haste to an ally and gives them 25 AoE resist. That's insane. It then also gives haste to her and 25 AoE resist to her and drops her aggro by 5. That buff on any unit in the game, you could give that buff to Yerma and it makes Yerma playable. Almost. And Yerma's the worst unit in War of the Visions. Take that, Eileen. You're not even the worst unit. You can't even do that. But if either of those units had access to this buff, they would instantly become really playable. So the fact that she has a good kit and acceleration of time makes her the best free unit we've ever gotten. Okay, then Princess of the Resistance. She does have an AoE heal right here, 210% and restores AP, so kind of like a little Curaga, but just with the small AoE radius there. And then Witch Dispel, which dispels buffs, haste, damage increase, and dispels courage for a target. Like I could see the AI maybe dropping this, but I think the AI is going to prioritize damage if they're in range to do damage. So this is really more of just a manual play thing. Now, I wanted to bring up this guy for a minute. Velis is considered one of the best supports we have in the global game, and they have a lot of similarities. Note that Velis also has Stars of Swiftness, and this is his big thing, right? He gives somebody haste and he gives himself haste. Rinoa's is better than this because not only does it give the haste, like let's go look at Rinoa's. Rinoa's not only gives the haste, but gives 25 AoE resist and drops her aggro. Like what? It's insane. It's insane. And Velis is a top tier support in this game. Velis has access to big AoE moves. That's what Rinoa doesn't have. So in that way, Velis is better than Rinoa. Like as a damage dealer, he'd probably outshine her in his ability to like drop huge bombs, but Rinoa has access to multi-target hits right here with like Twin Strike, so harder to mitigate. She's definitely a more modern unit in my opinion. Now we need to look at Rinoa's limit break right here. This is her only diamond shaped AoE, and once again, really good range on this thing. 69 AP is steep, but she does start with a lot of AP. It gives her 30 spirit penetration for 3 turns and does 200% non-elemental damage. So as a damage dealer, if she uses her limit break and is running her spirit penetration support ability, she can sit at 70 spirit pen, which is probably necessary if you want her to do a bunch of damage for you. So that's kind of her kit breakdown. You can go Grimoire Keeper here if you want a little bit more damage, which I don't know if you really want that. You do have access though to Spell of Shield. This is an insane buff as well because it reduces your physical damage taken by 7,500 and has a defense buff on it. Like if you wanted to give Rinoa another move and you were specifically fighting physical teams, you can give her a nice shield right here. I still think you go Swiftness buff, or wait, whatever it's called. What is it called? I think you go Acceleration of Time into a TMR, but this is a good spell as well. Red Mage does give her access to Jamming Thrust for a little bit of a long range single target move and another heal, but I think you probably just run, well, maybe you just run her main job sub. Yeah, I probably run main job sub. Honestly, I like the little AoE heal she has right there. I think that could be clutch. So that's Rinoa. She's 90 cost. I think when you get to her sub jobs, that's where she doesn't quite become 100 cost, but as a 90 cost free unit, I think she's the best we have. Now, she does come with a unique weapon, and this is only usable by her and Slime. It is the Shooting Star, 168 magic on there, and that's the only stat that really matters. The buff is increased healing power 15. This is not a great weapon. Now the magic stat isn't bad and healing power isn't bad for her, but this is the other area where they definitely were probably like, wait, maybe we're making her too good. We're just going to make her weapon not excellent. But again, it's free. It's on the bingo board, I believe. So just go get this thing, but maybe equip her with just accessories and armor and let that be her build out. Make her even harder to kill. I think that's probably the play there. Okay, guys, that is my Rinoa preview video. That kicks off my coverage of Final Fantasy VIII. I will be building her on both accounts. On my Baby J's account, this is his main focus from Final Fantasy VIII is Rinoa. On my main account, I mean, I'm going to build all of Final Fantasy VIII on my main account, but Rinoa is probably more of a slow build option for me. She'll be the one I'm going to instant max Squall, and then as we collect more like Squall free shards, I'll have those turn into Mind Spheres that I'll use on Rinoa and Irvine later. So that's kind of my plan there. Good luck on your polls, although you don't have to poll for Rinoa. And then the Squall video will be out tomorrow morning at regular time, so look forward to that. If you're as excited for Squall as I am, have a wonderful day, everybody. I'll catch you next time. Peace.